Hi, I'm Mark from L&M Small Engine. Today we're working on a John Deere 146SB push mower. It's an older John Deere. Um, it's been sitting for a year or two, and I'm sure we have to clean the carburetor out, clean the gas tank out, and get this thing running so they can go do some mowing. So, hope you enjoy the video. Okay, we're gonna take the recoil off, and so the tank and stuff could cup a little bit, so we can take this elbow up for the air cleaner and everything so we can get the carburetor off. And these top bolts are 10 millimeter. And there's some washers on here. When you put it back on, make sure you use them. Then we gotta take this like little clutch thing for the recoil where the dog legs get, so we can take this top off. Well, maybe we don't have to. Maybe that's enough room right there. We'll try to take that off without doing that. And them two bolts are 10 millimeter also. There we go. Whoever had this part before, they didn't loosen that up a little bit, and that rubber seal wasn't on there, so actually dust was going in there. I'll hook the vent tube right there. I'll go ahead and take the fueling off. I got the gas shut off. Then we got to unhook the choke. Let's see. Unhook the governor linkage here. See which way. It's so dirty in there. You got to see which way that thing bends. I'll just lift it out this way and we'll unhook our spring. And there we go. I'm going to go ahead and clean it off with carburetor cleaner before I take it apart. Okay, we got her halfway somewhat clean, so we'll go ahead and take it apart next so we can stick it in the ultrasonic boiler. Okay, I kind of cleaned it off a little bit. And to take that bowl off, need a 10 millimeter wrench. I lied, looks like a 12. You see there's a little bit of dirt in the bottom there. Not bad. But we're going to go ahead and clean this thing out anyway. There's a jet right there. That's your main jet. You got to make sure that's nice and clear. Then we got like a pilot jet up on top here. That's for like surging and idling and stuff like that. We're going to go ahead and take that out before we boil it out. That way we can get everything all nice and clean inside there. As you can see, there's 2 holes on the side and 1 in the center. You blow carburetor cleaner in here, plug the other side, and make sure it shoots out kind of like this here. So a little stream comes out of that center, but we're going to boil all this all out anyway. Go ahead and take this tube off. We really don't need that on there while we boil it out. As long as these gaskets are in good shape, I don't want to take them off and tear them. So I'm going to leave them on there. If yours come right off, and take them off. Take the float off here. There you go. And check that rubber point on your needle. If it ain't bulged out, if it's a nice cone, should be alright. And this one wasn't leaking no gas anyway, so that'll be alright. We're gonna go ahead and stick that in the cleaner. And we'll put her back together. Then we're gonna drain the gas out of the tank and blow it out really good too. So okay, we just got out of the boiler. And I got it all cleaned up. When you put it back together, make sure you can blow carburetor cleaner through the main jet and you'll be able to see it in shooting here. Then clean out really good where that pilot jet went. Then spray carburetor, because there's 2 holes on the side. Spray carburetor cleaner in there and it'll shoot a nice fine mist out of there. That means that's nice and clear. So then go ahead and put this together. Then we'll go ahead and put the needle back on that little lip on the float. I didn't put a carburetor cleaner in this because I just put a carburetor cleaner in this last spring. But we had a really dry summer last year, so nobody really mowed their lawn. And the gas sat in there all summer and all winter. Then on this pin, on this particular carburetor, on one side it has like a flat lip there. That will go in last. Put the nice round side in first. It's kind of like a pressed pin, I guess, so it don't slide around like other. It kind of builds up resistance right there. So you just kind of got to press it in the other side. You got to be very careful so you don't break these aluminum lips right there. Just press it in there so you got the equal amount on both sides. Make sure everything's working good. And we'll put this on. Usually this drain plug. Here's your choke side. And here's your governor side. And I put this where you can get to it easy to drain the gas out. So I'll just set it about right there. We'll go ahead and tighten the bowl bolt up. And go and put this overflow tube back on. Now we're ready to install it back on the motor. Okay, now we'll hook the linkage up. So usually on some carburetors you have your hole for your governor linkage. It'll be like a small hole for the spring. Well, I don't have it, so we'll have to put the spring in first, then the linkage. Just go ahead and sit in there like that. Twist that around, and there's that. Then we gotta hook up our choke linkage. And I'll go in there just like that. We'll get that set up in there. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on. And we'll hook up this little vent tube right there. I'll get the bolt started, then we gotta put this rubber lip around that top. That's why I loosened up this top, so it wasn't sealed all the way. Okay. A little stubborn one. I'll grab a little hook. Almost got it there. If you don't have that sealed, then dirt will go in around that instead of going through the air filter. That dust can damage your cylinder well. There we go. Okay, I got the top bolts loose, so we're gonna keep pressure on that till we get the recoil put back on. Then I drop a washer here. There's 4 bolts holding this on, but I'm just gonna start these 2 bolts here so it puts pressure on that top piece. The wrong bolt. There we go. Now we can go and put the other 2 on. Okay, now that's sealed up properly. And before we go any farther, let's just double check all the linkage and everything. Make sure nothing's bound up. Everything seems to be working. Air filter looks pretty clean in there. So I'm just going to blow it out real quick. I drained all the gas on this. And what you need to do is blow in the tank with an air hose, put a paper towel around it so you know if there's any gas in it, it's not going to go in your eyes or anything like that. And clean out real good. Like I said, this gas probably has been in here since maybe like last June. Just double check the linkage and everything, make sure nothing's bound up. Okay, now I already checked the oil and it looks good, but on something like if you ever want to drain the oil, you just loosen this up down here, or you could use a vacuum pump and suck it up to the top. That's what I use. It's less mess. Let's see, the oil's all nice and clear. And if you want to change the spark plug, we'll take this plug out and check it. Then what I like to do before I take these plugs out of the, where it's like finding there a lot of dirt and everything like going around there, I just like just blow out all the dirt around the end of the spark plug there, so we take it out, dirt and stuff don't get on the threads. Some motors, the spark plugs are out in the open, so you don't have to worry about that. But well, these all combined in there like that. You just don't want to get no dirt or anything in the cylinder. You can see it's kind of burning kind of rich there for some reason. So, I just might as well just go put a new plug in there. This one there is a NGK BR9 EYA. Let me see if I find one of these. Okay, got the new plug. make them nice and snug. Go ahead and pop the cap on there. Then I'm just gonna check the blade on this. We'll lift it up and check the blade out and see if it needs sharpening. And when you want to look at the blade on your mower, just whatever you do, don't, if you lift it, tilt it to its side, don't tilt it to the side where the carburetor's on, because oil in the engine will run into your carburetor and your vent tubes and everything. It is going to make a big mess, and it's probably not going to start right away. But on this particular one, the blade's still really sharp, but you just take these two bolts out here. That's your blade clutch right there. Excuse me. We just gotta take these two out here to take the blade off to sharpen it, but this is like really sharp still. But I'll just go ahead and pop this off and just show you how it pops off. It's probably metric, so. Next size smaller. With that grass stuff built up around it, hard to get the right size, but you don't want to strip the edges off the bolts. So. A lot of lawnmowers, you just got your PTO shaft coming out of the bottom of the lawnmower. Then when you pull the rope, the blade spins as you pull the rope. But some lawnmowers have these clutches on them, so you start the motor up, and the motor just idles, and the blade stays still. You have to squeeze your lever on your handlebars to engage the blade. So, but being as I have it off, I always put a nice edge on it, but that's still nice and sharp. But that's how you take the blades off these. A lot of lawnmowers just got that center bolt for the blade, but these clutch ones are set up a little bit different. Let's put a nice little edge on it real quick. You know, it's still in pretty good shape, but and when you put the blades on, the wings always go up. A lot of times, you know, if these ain't shiny, you know, some people put them on upside down, but when you put on blades, the wings always go up. It forces the grass out the chute or in the bag or wherever it goes. So on blades, the wings always go up into the deck. Okay, and go ahead and take it off the stand. And it's ready for some gas, and make sure it's running properly. So I'll go ahead and take it off the table and put some premium gas in there, and we'll see if we can't get this running. Okay, I just got done putting gas in it. Anyways, this is what I use When I vacuum out the oil in a crankcase on a lawnmower, I use this vacuum pump. It's so much easier, and it just seems to less mess and everything. So as I've turned the fuel shut off on, put the throttle on choke. Anyways, there you go. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate it. You guys have a good afternoon. Bye.